How are you finding time to run two businesses at the same time?
It really comes down to like time management. I have to really stay on top of my schedule and like plan things out in advance. And sometimes that can be a lot. It's definitely well worth it.
So do you have like a specific hack on how you're able to like schedule? Are there any tools or are there any just ways of like habits or things that you do to make sure that you don't miss out on any engagements?
So I think my biggest thing that I've learned to do is just if it's something that can be like handled immediately, like just handle it then, don't put it off.
Yes. Hello. Welcome back to another episode. I am very excited for you guys because you are in for a treat. I have my friend here, Jalen, and he is an expert when it comes to homes and inspecting and making sure that your house doesn't fall apart
Yes.
when you buy it. And so I am really thrilled that he's here because he is actually based here in Charlotte. And so we have him here today to share more about his story. He and I actually met through Next CLT here in Charlotte, an accelerator program for entrepreneurs who are boss and growing pretty rapidly.
Yes.
And so let's start off with having him introduce himself.
My name is Jalen Sanders. I'm the owner and operator of Sentinel, North Carolina, a residential and commercial inspection company. Yeah, that's me.
So if you can't tell our energy levels, like he is super chill, and this is the type of person you want in your home who's not going to be like, you don't want me in there because I'll just be like running around. And how long have you been doing home inspecting for?
I've been doing home inspections now for 5 years.
5 years. And how did you get into this?
I got into it through a family member, my cousin. He had been doing home inspections for a while, told me about it. Then during quarantine, I got my license and moved out with him, and we hit the ground running with him.
But you weren't planning to be a home inspector. This wasn't your dream as a kid.
No, definitely not. It definitely came out of nowhere.
Yeah. So what were you doing? What did you study in college?
I got my undergrad degree in finance, and then once I graduated, finished playing basketball at Appalachian State, I went to Hampton University where I coached and got my master's in sports administration.
And so aside from doing home inspections, I know you have another business. What is that?
My other business is Who Got Game CLT. It's pretty much a youth sports program and organization. We do a lot of stuff with the kids in the city. The main thing that we do is our summer camp this week. This year we have 10 weeks of summer camp coming up, spring break camp coming up. This past weekend we actually just had a middle school all-star weekend. So we had all of the best middle school hoopers in Charlotte out doing three-point contests, dunk contests, and then all-star games. So it was pretty amazing to see.
Oh my gosh. First of all, that sounds adorable with like middle schoolers doing
Yeah.
like dunk contest.
I've been posting a bunch of reels and stuff from the event on the page, and that's what all the comments are saying. They're like, it's middle schoolers and dunking the basketball now? I'm like, yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, so we'll talk about the home inspections in a second, but that led me to ask you then, how are you finding time to run two businesses at the same time?
It really comes down to like time management. I have to really stay on top of my schedule and like plan things out in advance. And sometimes that can be a lot. It's definitely well worth it.
So do you have any like a specific hack on how you're able to like schedule so like in advance, or are there any tools or are there any just ways of like habits or things that you do to make sure that you don't miss out on any engagements?
So I think my biggest thing that I've learned to do is just if it's something that can be like handled immediately, like just handle it then, don't put it off.
Yes.
So like that, and then also like the beginning of the week, just like mapping out the week. So it can be random with the inspections, people scheduling things for different times.
That's
so I
right.
have to utilize the times that I know people aren't going to be doing inspections. So like I have to get up early before the sun comes up, or stay up after the sun goes down, because when the sun's down, we can't do inspections. So those are my times that I know that I'll be quote unquote free from one company to handle the other.
How early is early when you say waking up before the sun rises? Because I don't know what that is.
So my goal is 5 a.m., but I go to sleep at 10. So it's still a good 7 hours. But my goal is 5 a.m. Most days it's closer to 6, some days it's 7. But yeah, I just try to get up as early as possible.
Did you see my eyeballs when he said 5 a.m.? So you're part of the 5 a.m. club sometimes?
Yeah, I read that book. I definitely found a lot of value in what the author was saying about getting the day jump started and being productive when a lot of other people are asleep, and getting that head start. So when I am able to get up at 5 a.m., I just definitely take advantage of it.
Okay. Now I have 100 other questions about this thing, but we will come back to the business stuff. One of the reasons, if you can't tell, why I wanted to interview Jalen is because, remind people, how old are you?
28.
He still has so much life ahead of him, and I keep telling him It is a matter of time on when he becomes wealthy. It's not if he becomes wealthy, because he is hustling like this at 28, running 2 businesses, one of them very near and dear to his heart. Not that the home inspections isn't, but him doing the youth sports organization. I had the honor of sponsoring a hole at his golf tournament. And I sent a bunch of my friends to go do this golf tournament. And they were like, oh my God, it was so fun. And the food was so good. And everyone was so friendly and helpful. Yeah. And so the fact that he at 28 years old has 2 streams of income that he is working on and working towards, not just like making money, but becoming financially free someday, is very inspiring to me, even though I am much older than he is. So let's come back to the home inspections, because I have a lot of people who always ask me about home buying. And let me take a step back. Home inspectors, what do they do?
So pretty much most of the time when people are buying a house, sometimes when people are selling a house, they pretty much call us in to give them a rundown of the condition of the home. Mm-hmm. So we pretty much look at everything from the roof to the foundation, everything in between, whether it be plumbing, electrical, heating and cooling, pretty much anything you can think of. We check it out and give them a full detailed report, pictures and videos of everything that we find, along with the explanation of what the defect or implications may be.
Okay. We had this running joke in our group about how Jalen literally crawled out of a crawl space one day and came straight to our 3-hour meeting. And this is a physical job. Like, you gotta what do you gotta do? What would you say your level of physical fitness has to be for this job, and like what kinds of things do you have to do that like actually requires your body to move?
You definitely have to have some level of fitness, I would say. Again, going back to the 5 a.m. thing, like that's one thing that I have to do in the morning. I have to get my workout in, because I just know in order to have longevity as being a home inspector, like I'm gonna need my body, right? Mm-hmm. But I would say, like, as far as things that you have to do, obviously crawling in a crawl space.
Do you have to ever get on the roof?
Getting on the roof. So a lot of times now I use a drone to look at the roof, but if it's not a super high roof, I'll take the ladder out and go up there, because it's better to get a feel for it. You can actually step on it and feel like if there's soft spots and things like that. And you can see it up close, a little closer than the drone can get. So if possible, I'll get up there. If not, I use the drone. And then the attic as well. Carrying around the equipment. I carry all of my tools on a vest. So the vest may be like 50 pounds. I just walk around with that all day.
Oh my God.
And then obviously carrying the ladders and different equipment in and out. Pretty physically, I wouldn't say demanding.
You can't be a schlub and do this, for sure. So if you are not following him, you should follow him on Inspector Jalen. He shares like behind the scenes on this if you're interested in buying a home. But I love that he's called Inspector Jalen, because do you know Inspector Gadget? Do you know who that is?
I do. I've heard of it.
Oh, you've heard of it, but you've not seen the cartoon.
I've not seen the cartoon.
Okay. My husband is behind the camera laughing right now, because we grew up with Inspector Gadget, and Inspector Gadget was like, he literally had all these different gadgets in his trench coat and would do all these things, but he was also crazy and would like mess things up all the time. So he's not going to be that. But I'm just imagining Inspector Jalen with all of a sudden he has his ladder. He's like walking around and getting on your roof. And
literally, like when I pull up and I put my vest on, like I get that all the time. Like, you look like Inspector Gadget. So I need to look up a picture.
You need to watch one episode. And then debate as to whether or not that's a good thing or not. When it comes to home inspections, I'm so curious. Have you ever come across anything that you're like, holy smokes, I've never seen this before? Or this is like something that maybe they didn't realize was going to be a big deal, or like a surprise, like when you inspected a home?
All the time, like more often than I would like.
Really?
That's honestly the thing that I love about home inspections, is like every day is a new day. You never know what you're gonna see, because everybody's different. Everybody takes care of their home in different ways, and sometimes people just they go the cheap route on fixing things.
But give me an example. I'm like curious. What is up, y'all? I am Bernadette Joy, your money mentor and the founder and author of Crush Your Money Goals. And if you are here, it's probably because you are tired of being burned out and stressed out by your money situation, whether it is not having enough savings, not getting paid enough, not having enough in retirement. And so if you are tired of being tired, you're in the right place, because I created a new resource guide for you in 2025. It's absolutely free, and you can go in there and find all the 25 different tools and resources. And you can find videos to watch, books to read, podcasts to listen to, articles, and so much more to help you on your money journey so you can stop being so stressed out and enjoy life instead. If you want to learn more, you can go ahead and sign up in the links on this page, and you'll immediately get access to the free guide so that you can start your money journey today.
Yeah. So, all right. The crawl space is the number one place where I'm always like, yeah, I'm expecting to see something out of whack. A lot of times I see snake skin, dead rats. Like literally this earlier this week, I went in the crawl space and there was a huge rat trap, like this big, and I'm like, it's no rat on the trap. So does that mean he's still in here?
Mickey's still running around.
There also was the bait was gone, so I'm like, maybe it's a smart rat. So he took the cheese and avoided the trap.
Oh my God.
Then I got a little further down in there, and it was like three of them. They were gladly they were all dead. So yeah.
Oh my gosh, my heart just went. I have so many questions. So do you have to like mentally prepare yourself before you go to, like, or it just doesn't faze you anymore at this point? Like where, because I'd be freaking out every day.
I would say somewhere in between. Like I'm mentally prepared at this point. I would say that's one of the biggest differences from here and then doing inspections in the DMV area. Like in North Carolina, there's a lot more crawl space. Like it was pretty rare to see it in the DC, Maryland, Virginia area, unless you were like out in the country areas of but like in the city, there was no crawl spaces. It was all old row homes, so they all had basements. Mm-hmm. And so like literally when I first moved back, the first couple of inspections I did, one had a crawl space, and I was not prepared. Like I went in there like just this collar shirt and my pants on. And I came out and I got right on Amazon. I ordered a mask, I ordered some coveralls, I ordered some gloves. I was like, next time I'll be prepared.
Oh boy. Yeah, that's a prime example of learning on the job. Yes. Like you won't know what you get into until you actually get there. Yeah. No one can prepare you for what you may or may not see. Yeah. So you mentioned earlier that there are certain things that homeowners like cheap out on. So what are some things that homeowners are cheaping out on that they really shouldn't be cheaping out on when it comes to repairing their homes or like maintaining their homes?
Honestly, the main thing is really more so delayed maintenance. Like they just put off replacing things like that until it goes out. And a lot of times it can be a little bit more of an inconvenience if you wait until your water heater or your furnace or something like that goes out to replace it, as opposed to getting it serviced as once or twice a year, keeping it up, and then you know what you have your hands on. The most expensive things in the home are going to be, like I said, the water heater, the furnace, and maybe the electrical, and then the roof. And so like as long as you keep those things in order, everything else should be cheaper, cosmetic type of stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you work with like realtors and homeowners? Is it the realtor that's like calling you, and like how do you like build your business so that you're getting like consistent home inspections?
So the main source of inspections is real estate agents. Mm-hmm. And so like when we first expanded the company from the DMV area to the Carolinas, I knew a couple of realtors just from that I grew up with being from Charlotte, but I just really had to like do as much networking as possible. I just started going to open houses, different real estate agencies, events, and things like that, and just shaking hands, meeting them in person so they could put a face with the name. Like when I first moved back, I just searched real estate agents on Instagram, and I followed every single one I saw.
Oh, smart.
And then so obviously like my feed started like showing me their open houses and their events and things like that. So I didn't have many inspections to do because nobody knew that I was here. And so in my free time, I just went to as many of those events as possible. And now like a lot of those agents that I met initially, like they use me primarily, kind of paid off.
So you've been doing this for 5 years.
5 years.
What is your goal for the next 5 years when it comes to the business?
My goal for the next 5 years would definitely be to continue to expand, build a team. I have 2 guys that are in training right now.
Really?
That's
awesome.
Definitely excited about that.
How did you find them?
So one of them is my cousin.
Wait, are you all on the same side of the family? The cousin you started with and this cousin?
They know each other.
But they're not cousins.
They're not technically.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, we're all cousins.
My cousin, he's in training. And the other guy, actually, he grew up playing basketball in Charlotte, so I knew him from there. But actually, when I was coaching at Hampton, he was playing at Hampton.
Wow.
So he played for me while I was coaching up there.
Oh my God, I love this.
Yep.
Coach Jalen, you're giving people jobs now?
Yep. So definitely excited about that. And then Like I said, continue to expand, see how far down the coast or across the country we can, expand the brand and also add on to our service offering. So just been trying to look at some more things that we can offer to either enhance the current inspection experience or add on services outside of the ones that we already offer.
I have a question. So you're just telling them what's wrong with the house, right? But you're not telling them how to fix it.
We tell them, like, say, generally how to fix it, not like a technical explanation. Like the report will have a pretty in-depth explanation of everything, but we refer the major things to like I would say the expert. So if it's like a plumbing leak, obviously we say we should get this plumbing leak fixed, but you have to call a plumber to see exactly what it's going to take to do
That's right.
type
Okay.
of thing.
Just clarifying, because
Yeah.
that people ask that all the time too. Okay. I also caught that you just said you're originally from Charlotte.
Yes.
That's so rare now.
Everybody's been saying that since I've been back. Like, everybody, I'm like,
Because everyone I know is not originally from Charlotte. So what made you decide to move back to Charlotte after being in the DMV area?
I think now that I'm here, even before, I think the thing I was probably most excited about was just being back home around my family and friends that I grew up with. I literally have been gone for 10 years, right? I went to college, undergrad 4 years, grad school 2, and then I was in DC for 4. And I was gone for 10 years, and I would be back and forth all the time, obviously, like handling the camp stuff and things like that. But just actually being back home, it's been a relief to be around even just like my parents and my little sisters and things like that. And then on the business side, obviously, I had a lot more connections to start with than knowing people that I grew up with and things like that. So it's definitely been good.
What does your family think about what you do?
They like it.
Yeah,
Yeah, they
I
like
mean,
it.
they're like, you're making money,
Yeah,
so
yeah, they
we're
like
fine
it.
with that. Because I asked that because your father came with you to our last
Right.
dinner, so that's
Yeah.
why I was curious. I walked up to Jalen's father and I was like, you should be very proud of your son. He is very smart. But
Yeah.
I'm curious what your family has thought about you because you were playing basketball before and now you're doing the basketball thing, the youth sports organization, and the home inspection stuff. So I'm wondering did you get the hustle, like that hustle, like personality from your family?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah. The youth sports thing, that's literally what my dad did.
Oh,
He's retired now, but that's like, he's quote unquote retired, but he's still
he doesn't
very,
strike me as someone who sits still.
exactly. So he's still very heavily involved with everything that I do on that side of things. But that's literally, where I got that from. I forgot to.
Oh, but it's just and like you said you have sisters. They're younger.
Yeah, so my closest sister, she is 25. She's actually still playing basketball. She's playing in Belgium right now. She plays professionally
Oh
overseas.
my God, your family is so talented.
And then my little sister, she's a freshman in high school. She goes to West Charlotte High School. She just made the track team last week. So definitely some athletes there.
Oh my gosh. Okay, I feel like I have to go work out. Because I was like, the gym is like right here. Y'all can't see it, but I'm like, I'm about to walk straight into that gym and go do something on the elliptical or something. Of course, I talk a lot about financial freedom. So for you, what does financial freedom mean?
I think it's just being able to wake up and pretty much do what you want to do. Not just like in the basic sense of the term, but like literally like do what you want to do. If that's help people, give back, travel, go shopping, like just whatever it is that you wake up that day and want to do, like you can afford to do that. And you don't have to be stressed about where the money's coming from, if you're going to get it back or things like that. So I think that financial freedom to me is just like literally being able to wake up and say, what do I want to do today? So money freedom as well as time freedom. It would be my two things.
I know you're only 28, but have you ever considered if you'll retire or when you would retire?
Yes.
Yeah? I love that. I love that. Say more.
Definitely. Honestly, like I'm the type of person I always set like, I guess, high goals. So my goal, I would say, is to retire by 35.
Really?
And so maybe not fully retire at 35, but
Yeah.
like be in a place to where the company can run.
That you're not in the crawl space?
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I literally just told someone that last night. I only got a few more years of crawl spaces in me, so definitely gotta get it to a point where the team is built and they're able to maintain the same level of excellence that I bring. So
I love that. And that is such a healthy mentality. And I'm saying that to you because I literally this morning, so on my threads on my Instagram, I had posted how much net worth would you need to feel like you could just walk away from working altogether and just do whatever you want? And so many of the answers that I got were, oh, it's really more about cash flow, or I already love what I do, or I want more for my family, and I already have a business that makes passive income, but it requires minimal input from me. And I'm like, bro, that wasn't the question. The question was, how much money would you need in your bank account to basically say, I'm good, I have enough money, I'm not worried about it, I'm gonna go do things that I like. And so the short answer was that most people either don't have that number or can't even fathom, because then one person said to me, but what would you do if you were to stop working? And why I love Jalen so much is because I have seen him put like his kind of heart and soul into this youth sports kind of thing too. And I have no doubt that whatever he chose to do in the next 10 years or so, like he would still be giving back into the community, he would still be supporting his family or whatever. But he seems to have, from what I know about him so far, he seems to have a good healthy balance between, yeah, like we hustle and we do the work that we need to do, but like this doesn't have to be your entire life. I'm really grateful. If people want to find more about you, how can they reach you?
On Instagram at Inspector Jalen. My website is sentinelnc.com. And then if they want to find out more about the youth sports side of things, the gram is Who Got Game CLT, and same as the website, whogotgameclt.com.
I love it. Thank you so much for joining me today.
No problem.
If you like this content, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. And if you want to learn more about how you can crush your money goals, you can head to crushyourmoneygoals.com/free guide. We have a new preview into our starter pack where you get 30 resources on how you can start your financial freedom journey today. Bye.